The eyes of the nation will be watching what happens this week in the United States Senate. Just a few days removed from what would have been Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s 93rd birthday, the Senate has begun the debate on the Freedom to Vote Act and the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act. For the first time in this Congress, Democrats have tried for months to hold a voting rights debate on the floor, but we have been blocked each time by Republicans. We brought common sense proposals 4 times on the floor of the Senate, and only once did one senator, Lisa Murkowski, to her credit, agree to even begin debate on voting rights. On all 3 other votes, not a single Republican joined us. Every one of them voted to block even a debate on voting rights. So today we are taking this step by using a message from the House. Now, it's just a step, but an important step moving forward in that we will finally debate this one issue that is so central to the American people, to our history, and to our democracy.
Let the game begin, everybody. Let it begin. That's where we are right now. So the Senate has started the debate. They weren't able to have even a debate on voting rights. This is how devious and destructive, and sneaky the Republicans have been about voting rights. Needless to say, there are 2 Democrats that play the game with them instead of playing the game with us to secure federal oversight of voting in this country. It's just oversight. That's, pretty much what this bill does. And so we had to be devious. We had to do what we did with the ACA. And I don't know how many people remember what we did with the ACA, the Obamacare bill. But Harry Reid did this. This is one of his little procedural tactics. Harry Reid actually had a shell bill also in the House. He had the House send a shell bill amended to include the ACA, to include Obamacare. And that is how they were able to get a debate, at least, on Obamacare going in the Senate. This is an old rehash of Mitch McConnell's bag of tricks. And thank God, we recognize his sneaky underhandedness for what it is. Now, the scary part is that the Democrats, need an alternative strategy to, get more sneaky than Mitch McConnell. And so this beginning the debate required a trick. And so we used the trick that we used with the ACA, which is you take another bill that the House has passed and you amend that bill and you send the amendment over to the Senate inside that bill, and it can then be called a message. Don't ask. It's archaic. It's arcane. This is the Senate. Their rules are bizarre. I just spent, I'll say 2 hours reading a rule called Rule 19. Don't do it. You'll never be okay if you try and do it. You'll never be okay. Not ever. I mean, these things are just so bizarre, and it's so ridiculous, and it's so destructive, and it's so sneaky, and it's all just so bizarre. It makes no sense to anybody who doesn't toil in the U.S. If your workplace was governed the way the Senate was governed, you would quit. Oh, you did? Good for you. Yeah, like 12 million people have quit their jobs. But obviously what we need is a plan that doesn't depend on Manchin and Sinema doing the right thing. So there are a couple of people who were aides in the Senate who have, written about some of the ways to go around having to have a vote on cloture, meaning a 60 vote threshold in order to move the bill into final passage. And the way that you do it, I'm going to just keep it really simple for you, because that is like my unique gift to mankind, is taking these ridiculous things and making them really simple. Here is what we could do. If we don't move to end debate, which would require 60 votes to end debate, if we don't end debate, and we say, all right, we're in for the long haul, we're going to do the debate as long as the debate can go, That means that no senator could speak more than 2 times in any one day. Got that? So here's the trick. You don't end the day. You don't end the day. You recess, but you don't adjourn. You let people go home to eat and make a pee and, kiss their dogs, but you don't adjourn. That way, it's the same day tomorrow as it was today. So if you do a debate under that particular scenario, then every senator can only talk twice. Now, you would need somebody in charge of the Senate, somebody presiding, that would enforce that rule and say, you spoke twice, sit down. You would need somebody strong to do that. You would need somebody committed to doing it. You would need somebody to preside over the Senate who gets what needs to be done here. Now, if we did that, and the Republicans each spoke 2 times, and the presiding officer in the Senate said, okay, you spoke you 2 times, no more. You can't do it anymore. And so then there's no one left to speak. Everyone has used up their chances to speak. And you only get 2 times per day, and the day keeps going. The day keeps going. Harry Reid did this for the ACA. The day kept going. The day kept going. Then when the debate is concluded, meaning no one has the chance or the opportunity or the right to speak anymore, you can then move to pass that bill with a simple majority, thereby avoiding the second filibuster. So like I said, what is needed is a plan that is sneakier than Mitch McConnell. What is needed is a plan that doesn't include Manchin and Sinema, doing away with the filibuster. We would still need their votes because it would still have to pass on a majority vote, meaning we would need all 50 Democrats. We know we're not going to get one single Republican. We know that. You know how we know that? They wouldn't even vote to begin the debate. We had to figure out a sneaky way to use a shell bill. In this case, it's a bill from NASA. It's a bill about unused land being, allowed to be used by NASA. So if you hear them refer to this NASA bill, it's really the shell that was amended to include the John Lewis Voting Rights Act and the Freedom to Vote Act, which, by the way, is the compromise bill from H.R. 1. H.R. 1 was the big kahuna. H.R. 1 was passed by the House. H.R. 1 had no prayer in the Senate. Manchin said, let me rewrite H.R. 1, the For the People Act. I'll turn it into the Freedom to Vote Act, and I can get you 10 Republicans. He lied. We don't have one single Republican. We did have Lisa Murkowski, who just voted with us one time to begin debate. It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. So we had to go back to the Harry Reid tactic, the use a shell bill and, bring it over there as a message. That avoids the first filibuster, which is to open debate. They literally would use every trick in the book to not even let us debate. They've done it like 2-3 times before already. The only other opportunity there is for a filibuster is on final passage of this bill. And so what we're going to watch for in the next day or 2 or maybe even 3, I don't know how long this is going to take them, but what we're going to watch for is whether or not tonight they recess or adjourn. If they recess, that means tomorrow is the same day. And maybe they're looking at using Rule 19 to get around the filibuster, the 60 votes. And they're looking to do it on a simple majority rule with 51 votes, right? So we're going to watch for all these little telltale signs. We're going to watch like educated consumers of the U.S. Senate. That's what we're going to do. Don't have time to listen to the live show? Want to hear more on your schedule? Go to randyrhodes.com and buy a stinking podcast.